Arts and Crafts online video, Henri, Matisse. Action!
Hi Artists and Craft families, Miss Jackie here. Today's artist is Henri Matisse. Henri Matisse was a French artist known for his fluid drawing style and colorful paintings. His paintings were so different from the more common Impressionism at the time that they were given the name Fauvism, which means wild beast in French. We love this because it shows that every artist should create the way they're called to. Many of our toddler artists could definitely be considered Fauvists, and we love it. Matisse painted from nature and worked from his imagination. When Matisse was in his early 70s, he underwent surgery that left him chair and bed bound. This made painting too challenging. Instead of giving up art, Matisse experimented with a new medium, decoupage. With the help of his assistants, he would use scissors to cut up paper they had painted and arrange them to form beautiful art. These started out moderately sized and then turned into murals and room-sized works of art. This phase of his career is called the cutouts, and it's what inspired our project today. For today's project, you'll need
colorful construction paper, scissors, crayons, our Artists and Crafts template, glue, paint, and finally, sponges cut out into shapes. Oh, yeah, sponges cut out into shapes.
So today we're going to make a Thanksgiving version of Matisse's cutouts. So the two things you have to do to prep this project are cut out your shapes from your construction paper and cut out your shapes from your sponges. We have created an Artists and Crafts Matisse template to help you cut out the different shapes. So check out what the shapes I have. Can you see the shapes that are gonna be the turkey?
Feathers on the bottom.
Yes.
And the legs.
And the legs. This is the eye and the beak. You know what this is called? I had to look this up on the internet, but there's two things a turkey has. One is called a snood, and it goes over his nose, like comes from his forehead, it goes over his nose and hangs down. And then the other one's a wattle, and it's kind of like the part under their chin. One of the reasons I love teaching Matisse is that there's so many teaching opportunities, one of them being shapes. So we can talk about all the different kinds of shapes. And Matisse kind of has very recognizable shapes. I like to say like they're very organic. And this one kind of looks like a leaf. This one looks like a funny looking E. This is his Icarus one. It looks like a guy. And I think that's what makes our project stand apart because we use shapes that Matisse would have used when we do our collage. So I made this template for you guys in case you can't cut them out on your own, you can trace these. Here's the best way to use our template. Print it out, layer it with the construction paper, and then cut it. You'll be cutting about 4 pieces of construction paper at once, and then at the end, you'll have lots of shapes to use. If you can draw with scissors like Matisse, we suggest trying to cut out some shapes on your own. It's really not that hard, especially the Thanksgiving shapes. We're sure you can do it. So I'll show you how I cut out a feather from just freehanding it. I kind of just do a little curve, and then I do a curve the other way, and then connect it. And since feathers are all different, it doesn't have to be perfect.
I want to glean, what are these?
Oh, those ones? Okay.
I need it
Okay.
for
So
my
like,
project.
you have an idea already what you're gonna do? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I also have
I love collaborating with my kids, and sometimes a really fun way to do that is to do like assembly line style. So Connor will be creating, Georgia will be creating, and they'll be like, hey, could I give another E? And then I'll cut it out. And it gives me something to do while they're creating. So I'm creating and they're creating. At the end, we have a little collaboration. So you guys let me know what shapes you want, and then I'll cut them out of my construction paper. To make our project a little extra special, and it's not just gluing shapes to your paper, we also like to paint with shapes. So the way you're gonna do that is you're gonna buy some kitchen sponges and then cut out shapes. So I did a square, we did a heart, circle, very basic shapes. But because this project is also a Thanksgiving project, I cut out one that looks like a feather because we're gonna make a turkey. So once you have that set up, you can choose your paint colors. We went with like Thanksgiving-y colors. Is that a word? Thanksgiving-y? Thanksgiving-y. So we did red, orange, and yellow, but you could use any color you'd like. Now you're ready to get crafty. The best part of this project is to let your kiddo play around with the placement and trust their instincts. Some of our favorite cards made in class are the ones that may be considered more abstract. Your kiddo will use glue to attach the shapes to the paper and then use paint to stamp shapes using the kitchen sponge. Let them experiment. You can use your shapes to create a turkey and play around with the colors and the positioning.
And this may actually moving the shapes around just really gets your creative running, because like I just thought like these leaves kind of look like I just put them on a guy, and I looked at the guy. I was like, oh, it kind of looks like if I added wings to him, he could be flying.
Ooh.
So that's what I'm doing right now.
So for mine, I'm gonna start with the turkey. So in order, see how Georgia did hers? I'm gonna kind of do it similar, but I'm gonna do all mine in cutouts. I'm gonna start with the feathers because the feathers will be behind the turkey. Then I do his body. His body on top of that. It's kind of like you're layering. And I do his beak. Then I'll do the snood. And then I'll do the eyeball. So I'm just gonna add, using the paint and my shapes, I'm gonna add a little bit of my square. I'm gonna stamp mine down here and we could talk about the shape. So when your child is doing, you say, what shape is that? It's a square.
What shape is this?
Ooh.
Kids at home. Kids at home.
It's a circle.
Correct. Got my orange. Now I'm just gonna do a few of these because I have an idea. Okay, and then I'm just gonna get the tip of it red.
Ooh. I like that, Georgia. That's a cool idea.
I'm gonna glue this down over here. What are you surprised about, future turkey?
He does look surprised. He's like, Maybe he's like, what's for dinner?
What's for dinner? What's for dinner? Me? Yeah, you do like Roy GBs.
Oh, nice job, Conroy. Turkey's running.
I know. Speed marks.
So Matisse has this painting called The Dance, and it's one of my favorites, and I got to see it in person in the MoMA, and it was huge. And if you've seen it, it kind of looks like they're playing Ring Around Rosie. So to recreate that in our cutout project, I like to make these accordion paper dolls. Okay, so the way you make that at home is you take your paper, you fold it in half, then you fold it in half again, and then you fold it in half one more time. So you have this really skinny, almost like a fan, if you're making a fan. And it doesn't really matter what way you fold it, backwards, forwards, I just keep going. The key is, the thing that really matters is that when you cut it, you never cut this part. So I'm gonna use the scissors. You never cut the fold, because if you cut the fold, then they won't be connected. So by leaving the hands together, that's where it will be connected. So then when you open it.
So you never cut like right through the fold.
Exactly. And see how this part I cut off, but so that's not gonna be together. They're just holding hands.
Whoop. Ring around Rosie.
There you go, a Matisse-inspired Thanksgiving collage. We hope everybody takes a little bit of time today to think about what truly makes them happy. And then take it one step further and tell the people who have helped make that possible. Gratitude goes a long way. I'd personally like to thank the families who take our online class Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. It's truly the highlight of my week, and I am really grateful for each and every one of you. I'd also like to thank you for watching this video and for tagging us on Instagram @artistsandcrafts. And for those of you who have emailed me, jack@lovejack.com, It's really such a joy when I see an email in my email box that is not junk and it's actually from one of you, and we can chat back and forth about all the art you're making at home. I am really so impressed with everything you're doing. As always, we want to see what you made, so be sure to tag us on Instagram at Artists and Crafts, send me an email, jack@lovejack.com, or join us at our live Zoom class Thursday mornings at 10. The link to register is below. Happy creating and happy Thanksgiving! Do you remember our Miss Me and a Turkey song? Because I guess. A turkey is a silly bird, his head goes wobble wobble. All he knows is just one word.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Yeah.